It's rainy and I'm in my car. I just got out of the gym. When I was in the locker room, I smelled something that smelled like banana and chocolate. I'm guessing it was someone's protein shake, or maybe they had a banana with them. I don't know. But I pretty instantaneously I had a craving for bananas and chocolate and peanut butter and bananas. I've been pretty attached to peanut butter lately. And then I had this feeling of, it's like almost a relentless feeling of weakness that I can't go without having bananas and peanut butter and perhaps chocolate. And that's a feeling that I've had with different foods and even different, totally not food, different things in my life. That feeling of needing to have something, and if I don't have, it's like a needing to have something, and it's impossible not to have it and survive. It's a survival. It feels like a survival mechanism that triggers, and it's actually a false trigger that's not real, but in the moment it feels very real, like I'm stuck in a nightmare, like I'm running away from a demon that's chasing me, but I know that it's gonna catch me, and it feels like I won't be able to get away from it. And so it feels like I have to have something sooner than later, or else something bad, really bad's gonna happen. Conceptually, I know it's not real, and it's pretty stupid. Like, it's pretty ignorant. It's a pretty ignorant belief, but that it happens, and it's something I struggle with sometimes, and it is a pattern. That belief, and when it becomes a problem is when those thoughts turn into belief, and then the belief transforms into a physical action that is manifesting that belief. So, like, for example, right now I go to the store and get bananas and peanut butter and chocolate and eat it, then I'm more living into that belief, when I'm in that, particularly when I'm in that feeling of weakness and like I have to have it. There's been times when I might have the same thing, but I'm not in that belief state, and I know that it's temporary and fleeting and impermanent, and that it doesn't identify me as a person, or it's not something that I'm a slave to or imprisoned to. Having to do is the choice. But when it comes from that other place of believing I'm weak and have to have something, it comes from a place of attachment and doubt and fear. And I think what I'm really scared of is being without that comfort of being without that comfort, but also feeling like I'm without what another has. And for some reason, I can think in those times that this person has something that I don't have. They have something I don't, and that's a problem. So I have to have that, or else something bad's gonna happen. Almost like I'm impartial, or I lack something if I'm not having what someone has. So, someone could have a certain type of music they're listening to, or a certain material item, They might be talking about like alcohol in some way where it sounds like, whoa, it sounds really good. I'm gonna have that after work and party, just have a good time. And it's like, I don't drink, and I've never really been into that at all, and I'm not I don't have much desire for that at all. But when I hear people talking about things in a way that sounds passionate and like they have something, then I feel this sense of, oh, what about me? Like, what do I have? I don't have anything. I don't have anything, and I get scared, and like if I don't have something, I'm gonna be without and not full. It's about lacking fullness. So I want what others have because I perceive them having a sense of fullness with that object. So I think that's what I get trapped into, is the sense of wanting another's sense of fullness that I'm perceiving they have. They might have it or they might not. I don't know. I really can't know. And what I do know is that the objects, like whether it's food or music or clothes or certain thoughts even, all those things are not really fullness. They are like they might be a impermanent fullness, where it gives the illusion of fullness, but it doesn't actually provide fullness in itself. Like, it's not the essence of fullness, if that makes sense. So like, I could really enjoy, some punk rock music and get down to it, dance and have fun, have a great time, and look forward to that and enjoy it. And it's not it may not be a compulsive type event for me, but so I might discover a lot of fullness in that and joy, but that activity in itself is not the totality of fullness. Like, that's ultimately coming from me and the connection I have with like the space inside, the awareness and openness and warmth and playfulness, like these inner qualities that that object might help facilitate that in some sense, but it's not required. That's something I've learned, I don't know, just in my life and in meditation practice too. And I don't mean to be trying to be like I'm all-knowing or something. I'm pretty freaking stupid. But I do have a taste of that, and I trust that. So yeah, I just want to share this experience because it's I feel like for me it happens a lot, and I found a lot of power through it actually when I follow through with my values and action plans of how I want to be during these times and not be taken over by my emotions. And with that sense of weakness, there's when I'm able to be with it with awareness and discipline in my actions, following through with what I want to do, truly what my heart really wants to do, and not be manipulated by my negative thoughts and more challenging emotional experiences. I discover a sense of freedom and liberation, because it helps liberate that feeling in me. So like what just happens in the gym, I wrote down, when that happened, I wrote down those negative thoughts that I was having, the situation, my anxiety level on a number scale. And then that helped me just in myself, and then reminding myself, just putting myself in a little more meditative state informally for a moment, just trying to be a little more aware. And then walking out of the gym, I saw a guy that I've talked to a few different times, and said hi to him, and he asked how I was doing. In these times, it's really helpful for me just to practice honesty, and I just love honesty, just to connect with people anyways. And so I just said something like, I'm actually been having a pretty hard time. I've been pretty down tonight, but I didn't even feel like exercising, and I came and did it. So I feel good about that, and I'm feeling a little more in a positive shift right now. But it's still challenging some. And I shared that, and he heard me, and I asked, like, hey, how are you doing? And he shared about his, what he did on the treadmill, how many miles he ran, and sounded like he wasn't feeling at his best too. And he was just going into the sauna, and it's like, all right, good to see you. Have a good one. Went on, and I passed a lady in the gym who works there, and I had shared in the beginning of the gym when she asked me how I was doing, and I was honest with her too in the beginning, telling her, I'm pretty down, and it's just life, just not having that great of a day. And so she knew how I was feeling beforehand, and she asked, checked in with me, like, oh, how you doing? You feeling any better? And I said, yeah, I'm feeling better. And I was, even though I was having that time, my little moment with the chocolate and the banana. Yeah, still feeling better than I was in the beginning. And now after that, just coming out of the gym, I felt pretty refreshed and new, and this craving doesn't have as much power as I think it does over me. It's just a vision. It's a dream. It's a cloud. It's just a reflection in water that is impermanent, and it's like that's the way I can break through this, is when I realize it's impermanent. It's when I feel like it's concrete, and permanent is when it becomes a problem, and I more identify with it. And then I'm noticing, just doing this video now in my car, since it's allowing me to express myself more in detail and more honestly in my description, even though I'm just talking to a camera by myself. It feels very freeing, and just totally trying to express everything I'm feeling, without manipulating my thoughts or feelings, and just trying to let it out very raw. And for me, that brings a sense of acceptance that I just love, and it feels like it's coming from me. Whether I post this on YouTube or not, it just feels good, genuinely good, it's empowering. So this is what I really aspire to continue doing in my life, and that I aspire for others to do, who are working through diabetes, or struggling with it, or doing great with it, to really practice. I think we really need to practice being disciplined with our emotional intelligence, and when we're feeling so weak and powerless and helpless, because I know that's a feeling that I experience a lot with not just this situation, but with different situations with diabetes, and that helpless feeling is a really challenging one to be with. And I think it's a great thing when we can come together and share our experiences to help each other, just inspire each other, but also offer each other ideas of how we're working through things and what's working and what's not working. So I'd love to hear other people's experiences when they're working with feelings of helplessness and weakness, and falling into a belief pattern of weakness, and maybe that goes into an action or not. But however whatever helps and whatever doesn't help, like I'd love to know that, and I think others would too, and people could get a lot of value from that kind of sharing. And I'll just add, just before I end this video, that what doesn't work for me, that I've tried in the past, is following that belief and like not creating a break in my belief pattern, because there's a sense where I know like it's not true, but I keep following the thoughts and reacting to them, and I don't create the break soon enough. Like I'll be like, oh, I'll do it later. Like for me, like if I just meditate for a few minutes or something, it usually creates that break. Or if I'm honest, it creates a break from that destructive belief. So if I don't take the break and I keep following that belief and I keep it pent up inside of me, don't share it with myself, like on a video or in a journal or with someone else, then that thought festers and it becomes sort of secret, and I hide it from people, and then it festers, then I start believing in it, and then I go out and I purchase food, or I eat whatever foods at home that are like more junk. It's just like junk food that I don't really need. And I might keep following the thoughts. Sometimes I might create a break after that, or I might not, and I might have more. I might watch TV or something while I'm eating, and it's easier to get distracted, so then I don't create a break sooner than later, and has gotten to a point where eventually I do create a break, but it's hours later, and then you could imagine at that point I don't feel very good about myself, and I just realized after the fact that I got stuck in that compulsive pattern, and I lived into that weakness. And what I just realized at the gym when I was working out is when I feel weak and powerless and helpless, and then I feed into that belief of like, oh, I need the chocolate because someone has it, then it creates a positive feeling in me, that comfort, a pleasure, a little bit of a high if I'm having like junk food or sugars or processed foods, but that's actually creating a positive response to my belief of weakness, reinforcing the belief that I'm weak with pleasure. That's pretty messed up. That's pretty freaking messed up, to be reinforcing the pattern that I'm weak, here's your candy. I'm weak, here's your candy. I'm weak, feel good about that. If that makes any sense, it makes sense in my mind how that's really destructive. But when I'm like tonight, being how I've been tonight, I feel like I'm reinforced. Like, yes, I feel that sense of weakness and helplessness, and I can be with it, and it feels like I'm strong and powerful. I'm feeling much more powerful now, much more powerful than I would be if I had fallen into that belief. But I feel like very empowered now, and that's the misconception about feeling helpless, is that we're weak, but actually when we're just able to be with it, and in my experiences, follow my intuition and genuineness and my values, then I feel strong. And I mean, even if I died, I'd feel strong. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, if you're freaking craving something, like, I don't think you're gonna die. But yeah, I'm getting off on another tangent there, but hope you get the idea. See ya.